Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. Eric, what happened last episode?
We had a super productive and heartwarming conversation with Malcolm. And he
Old pal.
really liked us by the end of it, and nobody made him mad or annoyed. We got rid of Jonas. Malcolm took off with him. And there was some sketchiness potentially around Malcolm's attitude, which fair. And then we headed back to Stormreach and met up with Stormlord Selshadra, told her the job was done, kind of got some more insight into next steps if we want to leverage the opening that is now afforded us in the Stormlord Council. I don't know what the term of the collective is. And then we started heading back to the mansion. Ezri went to Abracapothecary and tried to buy a spell scroll and met some interesting new NPCs. And that's where we called the episode.
Indeed so. So Ezri heads to the magic shop. What did the rest of ye?
So Ari didn't stop when
Right.
Pog, Shade, and Ezri talked. Ari kept walking to the mansion. So that's where he was headed.
Okay. Where do Shade and Pog go once they talk with Ezri about his destination?
Pog was just going to go, since we're right there, Pog was just going to go and tell Solarka about what all has happened, because it's been a lot in a little time. And yeah, that's all. Just a quick little cup of tea fill in. Shade is obviously more than welcome to join, because we don't do exclusionary coupley things here. And then he's going to go back to the mansion after that.
Oh, Shade definitely tags along to go see Solarka.
Excellent. All right. So, Ari.
Yes.
You tromp back to the mansion, school.
Yep.
Alone.
Yep.
And
Unprotected,
things
you might
are
say.
things are as they have been
Yeah.
for the last few times that you visited here in the last 36 hours.
You mean things haven't gotten better, Philip?
The city
I
hasn't
know.
rebuilt itself?
Yeah, it's
Been
like
since January. Come on, they've had 4 months.
it's like
It really has.
it's like no days have been allowed to pass in the game world.
And Ari feels that as he's walking past is there still like a line of people out the front door, or has the immediate wave of people kind of less?
Yeah, that's more or less diminished. It's
Okay.
There's still people kind of encamped around the
Yeah.
school.
Totally. Okay. Well, Ari's gonna just walk past all of them. He's Hexblood on a mission, and as soon as he walks in the door, he looks around to see if he can spot Thora anywhere.
Not from the lobby.
Okay. Ari,
Mrs. B looks up.
hi. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good.
You?
I'm fine. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. But I'm looking for Thora. Do you know where she's at currently?
I think she's in her office.
Great. Do you need anything? Are you good?
I'm fine.
Okay, great. Donabella, okay? Doing okay in the wake of everything?
Well, there hasn't been very much wake. It's still today.
I know, but there's still we're at the intense part, but it's still awake. It's past us.
Just like us, still awake.
Ari just well, if you do need anything, don't hesitate to ask. And yeah, if there's anything I can do for you, or if Donabella needs anything.
All right.
Yeah, Ari has a lot of like manic energy in this exchange, like because he really wants he felt compelled to be polite. Like he didn't want to just walk past Mrs. B because she's a kind person, but he very much was like, I need to go talk to Thora, but I'm not going to be rude.
Sure.
So yeah, Ari takes off to Thor's office, and if the door is shut, gives it a couple of knocks, like the knock knock open kind of thing.
Right.
the-
Okay.
The illusion
she's-
of respecting one's space.
She's in the middle of saying, "Who is it?" when you open the door. Thora's sitting behind her desk. She has a bunch of papers in front of her. And well, that
You got a
answers the
second?
question.
Hey, yeah. Do you have a second? I wanted to talk.
I suppose. Sure.
Um,
What can I do for you?
Ari steps in and shuts the door behind him and sits down. We're not a political hit squad, correct? Like that's the fair assumption that I've had up to this point.
That is correct.
Because I feel like this last job was that. Like we were asked by a Stormlord to go take out another Stormlord. And when we presented that to you, you didn't say that's a bad, horrible thing and please don't do that. And I was really expecting that when we came to you.
Did you assassinate Jonas Wilkes?
Nope. But definitely there were points where I was the stark minority in the desire to do that. And I'll be honest, Thora, I'm confused and kind of upset that we don't kill people, and the fact that I don't feel like that was made clear on this job when we talked to you was I was taken aback by it, and I was scared and frustrated because there were moments where we almost died, and the reality is that if we would have just murdered him when we went into his house where he was tied up, abducted by the bilge rats, then we wouldn't have almost died. And so my lone morality would have cost my friends their lives, and I don't feel like I had your support in that moment, and that was frustrating. And I hold on, before we continue this conversation, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I respect you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the work that you've done building this up. I almost died like 4 times today, so my emotions or my adrenaline's running really high, and so I need to get this out, or else I'm just going to bury it down until one day I die. So I need to talk through this and get this out. This is not me trying to tear you down or say that you've done a bad job in what you've done up to this point, but there are things that just scare me and frustrate me, and I feel like when we signed on with you, there were some expectations set that I don't feel like has been upheld long term. So, sorry. Go.
Thora sits back in her chair and looks at you, waiting for you to continue, since...
I mean, you made it abundantly clear when you asked us to come to this school and do this thing with you, that you were the one calling the shots. This was not a democracy. This was not you asking for peers to discuss decisions. Like, this was your thing, and you wanted us to help you. And I feel like time and time again, when we come to you, you don't give that direction that it seemed like we all bought in for. Like, you made it clear that, like, to put it the most bluntly way possible, we work for you. Like, this is something that you wanted to do. You brought us on board so that we could help you, but this is your thing. And then we just are left out in the wind sometimes, even when we come to you and are like, hey, help. And we need help a lot of times, Thora. And
What do you need help with?
The greater nuances of what this is. I mean, you're a product of the Black Wheel program. You finished it. You were out there doing things, recruiting people. We were child soldiers conscripted into a program against our will, except for Esri. And we were put through training and boot camp and broken down, and then the program was dissolved. And you kept us from getting killed, but we didn't get the opportunity to get built back up again. And so now, like, Pog is convinced that because a plan will never go exactly as it's intended, then a plan's not worth making. Shade thinks that the greatest negotiation tool is stabbing someone. Esri's self-worth is so low, I'm just waiting for him to walk off into the ocean. And when I tried to come up with a thing for me, I struggled with that, and then I realized, oh, that's the problem, that I don't have enough self-awareness to examine my own faults closely, so I tend to think I'm right all the time, and that's a problem, and I should have a greater level of self-awareness about myself, which I guess that might have been a breakthrough. I don't know, but I'm not telling you to tell us what to do, but when we have Dane in here spouting off his rhetoric, I'm bought in with you, Thora. And I know it's there. I would like to see the same fire that I see from Dane. I want to fight for you. I want to be a part of this. And I want to see you fight too. I don't know. That as soon as I say that, I know that's grossly unfair. And I know that I don't know half of what you deal with every day, because I'm off gallivanting and running off to the Feywild and leaving you to run all this for a week at a time. But I can know that academically, but still feel the things I feel. So
I see. I'm not sure what you want from me right now. You told me you just needed to express feelings, and that you know that some of them are... something about this is unfair, or that you're... I don't know what you want me to respond to, Ari. I'm happy to let you vent, but if you want me to respond to something, you need to differentiate between the things you just need to say and the things you want me to do something about.
I want to learn from you, Thora. I want all of us to learn from you. And in order for that to happen, I would like more guidance from you when we're lost and confused and unsure about what to do. That's the crux of
Did you come to me with this job and say we're lost and confused and we don't know what to do?
No.
You asked me about Jonas. I said if we can get rid of Jonas, good riddance. You all went out, and you did it without murdering anyone.
We murdered
so far as I know.
Yeah, I mean,
were they trying to
we defended
eat
ourselves.
you?
We didn't murder
Yeah,
anyone.
that's a distinction.
I know.
Ari, I'm not equipped to be your mother. I know that considering what all of you have been through, that's a terrible thing to be true. But it is true. I have done what I can to make it clear to Esri that he is not his mark, and that he does not have to tie up his identity in who wants him for whatever reason. I'm not equipped to wrestle with him about it. I have tried to reinforce that Shade is a valuable and competent person, and tried to counteract the giant wall of negativity she seems to carry around about herself. To be honest, don't know when the time was that Pog seemed to be very interested in plans. And when you've come to me for help, I've tried to help you with the things with your mark. We really haven't had the opportunity to discuss the recent change.
It was like 8 hours ago, so yeah, I understand that.
Right.
And as depressing as it sounds, this is furthest from the most pressing thing on my mind. So, yeah.
I'm fully aware that you're all broken in various ways. I'm just telling you that, and I think I have said this before, I'm not signed up to be your collective mother.
I know. There was one other thing I wanted to talk to you about. I feel like I should have led with that because I feel like my whole like unstable ranting that I just did is going to undercut the next ask that I have. But I'm sorry that I came at you like that. For what it's worth, I do feel less punchy. So thank you for at least sitting there and letting me do that. I appreciate it. And I apologize about the things I said that was unfair. But we now have, because of this job, an opportunity politically within the city to further our quest for safety and stability in the city. And I had a thought about next steps, and I wanted to talk to you about it. I don't know what your thoughts were on the next steps beyond this, but I'll just go ahead and lead with what my thoughts are, and I'll hear your response to it. I want to fill the Stormlord position. I think I'd be good at it. I think I have the skills necessary to do it well, and I think my motivations are good. So,
you think you're ready to play at that level?
The
Selshadras and the Aminatus, and
I don't know if anybody is ever totally ready until they stick their feet in the fire and see. And I feel like I didn't do anything to jeopardize our interests or standing in the city in my discussions with Selshadra up to this point. And I think I'm good with talking to people and negotiating things like that. So that's, and I also know the city really well. I know the histories of the families. I know what their wants and everything are. So I feel like I can navigate that space well.
And you're going to give up, as you say, gallivanting about?
I mean, my thought process is as little as Jonas was doing, any more time in the office would be an upgrade. And I have someone in mind for the harbor master position, the actual day-to-day function, that I think would be more than capable of filling in the gaps.
That one riverboat guy.
When the strike force duties call me away.
Interesting.
I would appreciate some affordance to talk to them to make sure that they are on board before I sign them up for anything. But yeah, I do have somebody in mind that I think you will support. And I think politically it would assuage a lot of fears about a free marked person becoming a political figure in the city. They're not one of us, as gross as that is to say. So I think that would temper people a little bit. So.
And who's this ideal harbor master?
Well, we've talked to her about potentially changing jobs, and I think Donnabella's mom would be. She has
That's an
affiliation with the
interesting
house. Has affiliation with the houses, so it won't seem like we're coming in just to undercut them. But she's already got some skill set in the sphere that would be required of her in this position.
Well, if you're settled on this idea, it's probably something you should see. And she stands up and walks over to the bookshelf, pulls a book, and the bookshelf slides away, and she starts walking down the stairs.
We know about this.
Ari hops up and follows her.
What is downstairs?
Bunch of stuff. She leads you down into the lower level, past Forge's space, and to one of the big storage rooms that are along with these big metal doors. She unlocks it and swings it open, and
Inside
gestures.
is Jonas Wilkes.
That'd be a good one. No.
No, it would not.
Gestures towards a series of crates along one of the walls.
Ari approaches them, and
Okay. The door closes behind you, and you hear the latch lock.
Thora, are you gonna kill me?
I'm
sorry.
She's not in here.
Oh, okay. Ari still says that, like, I'm sorry I yelled at you. And Ari approaches one of the crates and goes to open it.
There's just some old junk in it.
Thora?
Pog, Shade, what?
Does Pog hear this? Okay. So at the right before
You
the
do not.
communicator, the communicator doesn't come through.
Nope.
Drat. So at the
no.
end of it all, I cut so many heads off. I hit a guy with another guy. I throw fireballs now because this thing's awesome. And fish people cut in half real easy. So it's been a lot of a day. But what did you do? We've just been taught. What have you done?
How much detail did you give to Solarka in this story?
Okay, so Casey, unless you told Pog not to,
All of
as
it.
far as I'm concerned,
Yeah,
we're
because
telling
that's
play
shade.
for play.
Shade.
We're
Arbiter
like-
of
Shade's not the
discretion.
censor.
Yeah, the whole time, the whole everything. She now knows what you shouldn't probably. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so she's sitting on just. You guys are sitting on some blocks of rubble. You were going to just kill him?
I don't know. We talked about it, but it never actually got there. The vote didn't go to voting, so no. We were told not to, but in a way that told us that we had to. But I don't know.
Her brow furrows a little bit. Wait, why? What did he do?
Did they ask that? I didn't ask that. Did you ask that, Shade?
Well, I was cool with killing him because he stood between us and what we wanted.
We
I
should
mean,
talk about that sentence later, but he was not good. I don't know if bad.
right. He wasn't good.
he
And
was
he's
not
not
good.
family.
So, you just... was he not good in the sense of he was hurting people or conspiring to harm people? It sounds from what you said like he was not good in the sense of a shopkeeper who attempts to cheat his customers.
Right?
Would you kill a shopkeeper for that?
No.
Oh.
Shade. Do we need to... No. But
What
we
about
didn't
a
know it.
shopkeeper who
No.
had something that you wanted but wouldn't sell it to you?
What would I need these things for?
I don't know. Suppose it's very important.
Oh. If
No.
it was
because we stole it when we needed something from a shopkeeper that wouldn't sell it to us.
I'm gonna miss Solarka.
that is step one. Yeah.
There is
Well,
no shot that Solarka does not know about the map heist. Like, that changed the world for us.
But you did that because those children were in danger if you didn't do it.
Yes. We would not kill a shopkeeper. Shade, we would not.
What would have happened if you had not done this?
Done the rescue napping?
Kidnapping, Pog. Abducting.
Well, okay, but since we did not kill him, we
That's
know
just-
other people would have killed him. We were told this, that other people were chasing after him and were going to kill him. So we did rescue him from those people that were going to kill him.
That's true.
Especially the people that might not be people. The people that control the fish people that he's made deals with and are eating his cousin. There was a lot today, but Cal, it's over. They're gone.
Cal's like, seriously, Solarka, speak into her life.
It doesn't. Maybe I just missed it. It doesn't sound like Lord Jonas did anything.
I mean, I don't know.
I think that was part of the problem. Was that Lord Jonas didn't do anything. But then also it was that the things he did were bad, were selfish.
He was like beholden to a dark thing. The darkness.
Was he harming people for that dark thing?
I don't know. I met him for the first time today.
He said it's killing his cousin, so it's not going to be good.
If
And he
this
didn't even
Sauron-
care about his family.
That's very terrible, but
I know.
there are people in this city that don't. Are we going to hunt them down and kill them, or abduct them and ship them away from the city?
The way you're asking that question tells me no. And I just want to point out that I respect you and Ari. And so when you think the answer is no, and when Ari thinks the answer is no, then I listen to that. I pay attention to that.
I'm glad. I thought that the goal of your strike force was to help and protect people. I don't find that in this task that you did. I don't see who was helped and who was protected.
He was protected.
But
At
you
the
could
end.
have protected him without abducting him. Like, knowing that he was in danger, you could have warned him and then offered him your protection. He probably would have paid you for it.
I don't know how all of this works because Thora will tell us things to do or that she wants. But then sometimes Thora gets told what she should do or she should want, and then we get told that. And this is more confusing now.
And if Thora thought it was a bad idea, she would have told us. Also,
Couldn't Thora be wrong?
No.
I don't think so.
What? But Thora's good.
Right, she saved
Thora
our
saved
lives.
us.
Good
She
people make
and
bad
protected
decisions sometimes. I have made bad decisions. You have made bad decisions, surely.
Yep.
Good people make bad decisions. They make mistakes. They misunderstand things.
I would not call myself a good person. I make
I would.
bad decisions.
We don't need to stab shopkeepers, but you are a good person.
Making bad decisions doesn't make you a bad person. It has
This
to
sounds
do
like a
with...
Mrs. B conversation.
Pog starts scratching his head because this is all very confusing all of a sudden. But
I'm sorry. I don't mean to... Usually there is... The first part of the story is being down under the city and fighting the people who caused all this damage. That is what I usually hear from you when you tell me of your adventures. And in the second part, it seems more like the kind of thing that a gang does. Criminals.
it sounds dark.
But what if somebody that protected more people was put into Jonas's position? Wouldn't that be for good? Because then he didn't do a good job at his job, and we would have somebody that did a better job, and that protects more people.
It would be good if a Stormlord with good intentions and a strong sense of honor or something. Yes, a Stormlord who being in position. Yes, but couldn't you say the same thing about all of the other Stormlords? Not all of the other Stormlords operate in their own self-interest. Sometimes that benefits people, sometimes it doesn't.
Right, but they're stronger than Jonas, and Jonas was the one that we could easily defeat in this case.
Jonas was weak, and so you...
This is bad.
Is it?
Isn't that what you said your friend Tommel was always talking about?
This...
That the things would be better after the bad thing that he wanted to do.
But he was going to hurt us and children. And we
I'm
do
not
not hurt
saying-
us.
No, of course
Hurt
not.
us or
I'm
children.
not suggesting at all that you have done anything nearly so bad. You didn't even kill him, and I'm very glad you didn't. But isn't it the same sort of thinking?
Yes. Yes.
In the way that you worded it now, it does seem
But we can't word it in a good
vaguely
way.
similar.
We can't say it in a way that's good.
No. But I
Not-
don't
I
understand what's happening.
I'm just asking questions. I'm not trying to... I'm very glad you are all safe. And yes, if someone who concerns themselves with the good of the people is in Jonas Wilkes' place, that will be good.
well, I don't know.
Just-
There's a vacuum now.
Just the way that you did it, it doesn't seem like
Good.
the way you usually do things.
Thank you. I need to go and talk about this. Thank you. And Pog is going to stand up and try to kiss her on the forehead and then turn and leave. If she doesn't shy away, then that's as good a
she
goodbye.
She doesn't shy away.
As good a goodbye as he can get.
Sure.
He's gone.
She looks perplexed and follows
Not-
you with her eyes.
Not sprinting, so Shade, if you are leaving.
I think that you might be sad at us now. But I hope that that's not I hope this isn't the end and we can still be friends and we
Of
can
course.
still okay.
I- If I wasn't your friend and didn't care about you, I wouldn't say these things.
Okay. I will have other questions for you. But I think I
Alright.
have to go after Pog now.
Sure. Yes. Okay. Yes. Go see
See you
that
later.
he's all right. She watches you go with a somewhat concerned expression.
I catch up to Pog.
Pog is marching towards the house. We are back to the manor. It's where
Who are you going to? Are we just going home?
I need to talk to Miss Thor. Are we the bad guys? We might be the bad guys. We did.
In the way that it was presented by Salarka, yes.
So we need to hear why we're not the bad guys, because this is bad stuff.
But we didn't kill him.
But
Like,
we didn't rescue
we did the
nap
good
him.
thing by not killing him.
But we didn't do a good thing. We did a bad thing that's just a little less bad than the killing thing would have been. We didn't choose a good thing. We chose a not badder thing.
But two people said to do this thing that know more than us?
What if it's because we don't know how to ask the right questions to people that we think aren't better? Why? And Pog stops and turns to Shade. Solarka said, it's what Dane said. And Miss Thora got us not to go with Dane because she used good words and thoughts. And now, what if we're doing the same things that Dane did, except we're helping do words and thoughts bad things instead of violent fighting bad things? And I love you, but you and me aren't gonna know if it's words and thoughts things.
But we owe her our lives.
For how long? Because some of us have paid that back a couple times already.
How do you know? Like, when is I would be dead without you paid off?
But we've already had people be dead with her. I only want to be good. I'm supposed to be good.
I think you are good.
But what if I'm good at being bad? And I'm not smart enough to know that they're just telling me it's good.
I don't know how to know that. Solarka brought up a good point about asking questions. But I don't know. I would ask Mrs. B, but what if Mrs. B is bad?
No.
She's never asked us to kill anybody.
No. Mm-mm. Pog turns and starts walking, but a little slower than before. No. Mm-mm.
Your paths sort of conjoin with Esri's as he's making his way back from Abric Apothecary.
He's completely inside his own head. So he does not notice
Unless Shade carries on. So is Pog now. This is about to be a pensive passage.
Esri, are you going to...
Whoa!
Okay. Just so we're clear, the dog also startled at that response.
Where did you come from?
The same, but we have been together for all but 20 minutes. We've been all the same places.
No, what? What?
How was your store?
Oh, weird. Interesting.
That's what you're leading with?
What, huh?
Well, Solarka just maybe convinced us that we are bad guys and that maybe also Thora is a bad guy and that also maybe abducting Jonas Wilkes makes us bad guys. And also you aren't bad if you do bad things, but you also aren't good if you do good things. So we have some questions and not any answers. And so we were going to see Thora. I see why you led with the store.
It did feel like it was going to be a lot to catch up. It did.
Inspiration, Casey. Inspiration.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
I don't. I am too tired for this. Where's
Boy.
Ari?
Well,
not.
here, he came back already.
He wasn't with you.
Nope.
Oh.
You don't
Um,
remember him walking off?
The last couple of hours were a bit.
Have you been drinking?
No.
Or did you ask me a no?
I don't. Some things might have happened in that shop, and I don't remember them. I'm not.
Hog grabs for the axe. Are you okay?
It was just not the experience I was expecting, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do about that. I wasn't here. Oh, here. And he pulls out the gold and gives back. Each of y'all gave him 200 gold, I believe. So he will pass that back out. This wasn't enough, unfortunately.
Sorry.
I still might have a way to earn it, but I've got to figure it out. What are y'all talking? What are you?
It's a lot. It's
Yeah,
I
need to sleep very badly.
I did too, and all of a sudden I'm super awake with really big thoughts.
Well, I'm gonna leave you to that, and we can talk about it tomorrow.
Okay, good night. He says as we still walk home.
Yeah.
In your head, you hear Thora's
Yeah.
voice.
Oh boy.
Right.
So, here's the point. You came to me and you said two things. And you're sitting in a closet right now as a way to demonstrate something. Primarily, the contrast between the two things that you said. You came to me and said, Thora, we are not but wee bairns, and you've turned us loose on the world without sufficient guidance. We need you to tell us what to do and how to make decisions when difficult ethical things come up. And we are lost and confused and scared. And then you said to me, Thora, I'm ready to play at the level of people who will very, very gladly cut my throat the moment they think they can get away with it. And I then was able to, with a gesture of my hands, walk you into a room and lock you into a closet. And you don't have any way of getting out.
Because I trust you. That's
right.
That's a flaw. Cell Charger could not have gotten me in this closet.
And I'm saying, at the level you're talking about playing, do you want to stop trusting people? Is that something you want for you? Do you want to never walk into a room ahead of someone again? Because I don't walk into rooms ahead of people. Do you want to never sit with your back to a door again? Because I don't sit with my back to doors. You may have noticed, but my chair is in front of the stone pillar between the windows in my office. I'm going to let you back out here in a minute. It's probably felt like a long time, but it's only been about 20 minutes. Think on that. And after about 5 minutes of silence, the door opens. You see Thora walking up the stairs.
Ari follows Thora up the stairs, back into her office.
She sits down in her chair and resumes the papers that she was examining.
despite his low insight score, Ari takes the hint and just kind of nods and exits Thora's office and begins to head upstairs to his room.
Your friends are walking in through the lobby. Ezri briskly up the stairs to his bedroom.
Not that brisk.
If Ari
Ezri
is
dragging himself with great determination towards his bedroom.
if I can make it there in time, then as Ari is walking out of the office, Pog is going to walk into. Hi, Ari. Thora,
buddy.
we need to talk.
Just as
Inspiration,
Ezri
Colin.
is going, if he sees Ari, he's gonna. Is your head okay? Do we have to talk about it now?
Like, all of this? Like, that what you're... Yeah, I'm fine.
No, the hearing all of us
Yeah.
all at the same time without intending to. Yeah, you're good.
It's... I'm getting acclimated to it. It's fine. We don't need to talk about it.
Wonderful.
And Pog rushing
yeah.
into Thor's office, Ari would look at Shade with a, like, what's going on look. Like...
How was your day? Nope.
Thora, are we bad guys? Are
Yeah,
we
That's what we want to talk about. Right.
are we bad guys? Are you good?
And I go,
Ari rushes back into the office.
All right, we need to talk about your capacity and when it is you need to rest and how long a day is allowed to be.
You are completely correct. But right now, I'm super awake.
Are you bad guys and am I good? It's my opinion that you're not bad guys.
Do we do bad
I-
things? I'm sorry, I don't
Probably
normally
some of the
interrupt, but
time.
I'm super awake.
Probably some of the time. I've never met anyone who doesn't do anything this bad.
Why are we doing bad things as the strike force?
What are you referring to?
We didn't rescue Nap, Jonas. We stole him. I was going to kill him. I wanted to kill him. And I know, okay. Maybe I assume you have a good reason, but I should have asked why is the reason for killing a person.
I don't especially want you to have killed Jonas Wilkes.
Okay.
it would
but
have been
no.
cheaper and easier.
That is almost always, well, that is very often true.
Okay, but you
But that,
Cheaper and easier does not always make better.
right. But is he a bad person?
I don't know. It sounds like, yeah, it's some sort of deal with something with Sauergen, and that probably spelled trouble somewhere.
okay.
Actually, it probably still spells trouble somewhere. But
But finding out that somebody's not good is not the same as them being bad. Because now we've done something that's not good, and people could say we're bad.
you're asking, did you do something wrong by coercing Wilkes out of the city?
We didn't curse him at all.
Coerce means force, Pog.
Oh,
You forced
yeah.
Jonas Wilkes to
We
leave the
absolutely forced him out.
city. Yes, right. You're asking if you did the wrong thing.
Yes, was it a bad thing?
I hope not.
How do you know?
You have to decide what your goal is and what you're willing to do to achieve that goal. My goal, as I've stated to you, is to establish Stormreach as a place that aberrant marked individuals can live in safety and peace openly. And I believe we all agree upon that goal. And early on, I made it clear that we weren't going to murder people in the name of that goal. We would kill people if absolutely necessary, as has happened, but we would not endanger innocents or murder and assassinate and whatnot. When you are pursuing a goal, and you have, we call what I just described a principle, a rule that you follow in pursuit of a goal. Selshadra offered us an opportunity to get much, much closer to that goal. And to achieve that, Wilkes needed to stop being a Stormlord. I'm glad that you didn't just murder him. I'm glad that he's gone. And I hope that we all did the right thing by making him gone. Maybe that will turn out to be true. Maybe it won't. It'll depend somewhat on who ends up filling that seat and how they behave. Because surely you realize that our interests will not be the only one. It will depend on what we have to do to control who fills that seat and whether we're willing to do it. You're right, Wilkes didn't do anything to deserve specifically what happened to him, that I know of. By saying yes, I compromised a principle because I believed it was important enough. And I believed that Wilkes losing his position as a Stormlord, well, I said Wilkes didn't really deserve it, anything what happened to him, but at the same time, anyone who's that bad at a job does actually deserve to lose the job. But
Good to know.
How do you know?
No.
How do you decide when to compromise?
Well, since the topic is the compromising of principles, you really can't set principles on compromising principles. I don't know. I decided it was important enough, and so I said yes. You all apparently either decided it was important enough or merely trust me blindly, and I hope it's the first.
Oh.
It's not.
Right.
It is not.
I'm not
It wasn't.
a god. I'm
No,
not
you're in
an
charge.
ancient. That's right. And that means that if we made the wrong decision, I'll take the blame too.
But when somebody
But-
asks me if I'm a bad guy, I don't want to answer maybe.
I don't think you're a
Or
bad
I
guy.
hope not.
Why you do what you do matters. What you do matters too. If I ask you to do something and you think that it's the wrong thing for the wrong reason, you shouldn't do it. That was the entire
But where
problem.
will we go?
If I've given you the impression that the minute you disagree with me, I'm going to kick you out on the street, then I am sorry. The only reason that I would ever ask any of you to leave is if you endangered the students here. That's the only reason. None of you have to be on the strike force. None of you have to go on missions. This is a place. Arlo doesn't go on missions. The children don't go on missions. The children don't go on missions.
Everybody in this
Anymore.
room agrees with you, Thora.
The children aren't in this room.
And evidently, we are looking after a substantial number of people who aren't even aberrant marked at the moment. And also one stray fae of indeterminate power.
It's a lot.
I am getting that impression. I will make the
That
best
makes us
decisions
good,
that I can.
right?
I think so. I think what
Maybe.
we are doing here, I think what we are doing here is good. I think when we are helping people, we are doing the right thing. But I'm going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. I did a lot of things for my country that were bad. Some of them I think I had to do, and I think in some cases I prevented worse things from happening by doing them. But if you follow that line of reasoning too far, you end up where Tommel has. There has to be a line you don't cross. My line is endangering the children and murdering people. If you have lines that you won't cross, that's something you have to decide. I'm not going to be your conscience. I'll help you when you're confused if you ask. But I'm not your conscience, and I'm not going to be.
Does it ever get
I'm
easier?
not qualified. No.
Hog
No.
stands up straight.
Speaking of, unless there are other questions,
Yeah, we all think Mrs. B is good, right?
I
That's
think so.
Unequivocally.
I
Better than everyone in
I
this
think
room.
she probably would tell you that she has made bad decisions.
right, but if you're yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You see, ironically, Shade, the person you know who would probably not say they've made any bad decisions is Tommel.
I don't know. That last fight, he did not seem to be happy with his current position.
Part of
I
that
hope
was
that's
me. Speaking of lines that you told yourself you'd never cross. Yeah, I went into his head and tried to, like, I would like to say unbrainwash him, but just tried to force the issue, I guess, there at the end.
Well, I hope that it woke something up in him. I don't know. Now, Speaking of your capacity and how long a day should be allowed to last. And I realized that at the beginning of this conversation, I said, I'm not going to be your mother. Go to bed.
I'm sorry, I yelled, and Pog walks out.
What time of day is it, Philip?
It's got to be evening by now. It just has to be evening by now.
For the love of God.
So I'm declaring it. I'm declaring it to be evening.
Okay.
This day has lasted for like 4 months, so I have no idea.
It really has.
I don't remember when the day started, or if you did part of
In your
this at
defense-
night, or what.
We went down in the hole early in the morning. I do remember
Okay.
that. Like
Yeah,
we
it was
did
like
say it was
first thing.
early. So
Great. So
I
then,
think from a
then
timeline
it's
standpoint,
probably
we're okay.
it's probably very much night.
okay.
So Laura
He'll
dismisses you from
probably
the
have
office.
more questions.
When you slept.
Yep. As Ari is Shade leaving as well.
Yes.
Ari chuckles to himself and is like, I normally listen to Thora, but can we go for a walk real quick? Just out in the grove.
Okay. I might have questions though.
I guarantee you will.
Which is a perfect place to end this episode. If apparently not this day.
Sorry.
They're going
Thank
to
you
find
all
the
so much.
assassin waiting in the grove.
It's River. No. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Khyber Shards. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so at all of the various links down below, where you'll also find links to Colin's Twitch, where he's sorry BTR. The O is a 0. You can hear me and Eric play other RPG stuff on the Eberron Renewed podcast. You can see Eric talk about D&D and stuff over on the Geek Pantheon YouTube channel. And I think that's all the things. So new episodes of Khyber Shards drop every Monday. New Khyber Shards answers every Friday. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.